and welcome once again to Info Corona, the show that tries to shed light on more information around the battle against coronavirus. Now, as an anxious world awaits a cure for the deadly coronavirus, companies and academic institutions from across the world are coming together, racing against time to create a vaccine. In India, a Pune-based startup, Seagull Biosolutions, has become the first company to get financial backing from the government of India. Tonight, we'll focus on this and other stories on the battle to find new technologies on coronavirus. Our top story today comes from Pune, from Pankaj Khelkar.
Innovation Park at the National Chemical Labs campus in Pune. This is where different startup companies are provided all the scientific and technological state-of-the-art facilities to carry out their experiments, research and innovations. And this is where the scientists of Seagull Biosolutions are working relentlessly to develop a vaccine that can fight coronavirus.
We are really proud that the government of India has identified a small startup like us.
The 9-year-old company says it is using active virosome technology or AVT for developing the vaccine.
Active virosome technology has been developed indigenously during the last 8 years' time by us in India, and we will be using this technology for developing the coronavirus vaccine. We have used this technology to produce various kinds of vaccines called as like dengue vaccine, chikungunya vaccine or Zika vaccine and Ebola virus vaccine. And we have shown that vaccines produced using this technology are effective in animals.
The company is basing its development on the existing measles vaccine platform.
We have modified this vaccine by removing most of the measles virus genes from this, and we use only the single antigen gene to produce a vaccine agent, which is a very new type of vaccine agent, and it produces the antibodies against the given target of the virus. Like for example, in this case, we will be removing one specific antigenic protein from the coronavirus and transplanting it on the measles virus. And this particular antigen will be used for further, will stimulate antibodies when we inject it into man. These antibodies will be able to fight with the coronavirus.
Scientists at the private firm are working overtime. Their goal, to move to the next step within 3 months. Step 2 would be the preclinical trials that normally takes 24 to 36 months. But the developers are confident that with the government's help and looking at the crisis, they would be able to cut this down to about 18 odd months.
That's right. These are the newbie innovations that are taking place, trying to find a solution to find a vaccine to battle corona. Now, at a time when maximum testing for coronavirus is clearly the need of the hour, India is slowly ramping up its efforts on testing. But they suffered a major setback, remember, with many rapid antibody testing kits turning out to be duds. These were imported from China. To get a grip over the situation, the Indian Council of Medical Research has halted rapid antibody testing for 2 days. But the problem mainly lies with these imported kits. Of the 6.5 lakh kits that India has been using, 5 lakhs were recently imported from China. Now there are Indian firms coming up with such kits, and with the government and ICMR approval, it is these kits that may well become a game changer one day. Take a look.
The Indian Council of Medical Research has carried an evaluation of 16 antibody-based rapid test kits and approved 13 to conduct the novel coronavirus test. And Delhi-based New Life Care is one of the 13 Indian companies that have ICMR's approval.
ये blood sample जो है यहाँ पर ये निकाल के rapid antibody test kit में आप लेंगी और उसको डालेंगी.
With finger prick tests, the kit takes less than 15 minutes to yield accurate result.
You see, you can see the band. It is so prominent and sharp for the control. And you are not getting any band for MNG. It means you are negative.
The whole idea of having a rapid kit there for the testing is to test as many people as possible in a shorter time and in a very economical at a very economical price. So the whole objective for us to work on this was this. And we are happy that, you know, our kit has been approved and validated by ICMR.
The new kit, the company says, which will be available for less than 1,000 rupees, aims to provide the public with a low-cost testing option. Then there is Bangalore-based Mobilio Diagnostics Private Limited. They claim that they have developed a testing kit that will get the results in just an hour.
At this point in time, we need all kinds of testing capabilities. Our aim is to extend the reach of the testing capability because our devices are mobile, they are battery operated, they are field usable. You could deploy them anywhere.
The battery-operated PCR system can be used out in the field. A similar machine is already being used across the country for tuberculosis testing. And some states like Goa and Andhra Pradesh have already started using the system for testing coronavirus.
The swab is collected and it is taken into a lysis buffer that deactivates the virus on contact. And the contents of that lysis buffer are transferred to the cartridge. This is a microfluidic cartridge. That cartridge goes into the TruePrep Auto device, and it's a battery-operated device again. And in 20 minutes, you get the extracted nucleic acids. So the process is very simple. You just press the start button, and you're done. 20 minutes later, you take the cartridge out, and once the cartridge is taken out, the total nucleic acids that are there are loaded onto that chip that is there. This is the chip over here. That is the chip. Okay. And that chip is essentially the PCR, and that's the heart of this technology. Okay. And once the sample is loaded onto that chip, you just again enter the patient details and press the start button, and you get your results in about 35 minutes.
With approvals coming in for more such testing kits, it might help ease the pressure on the testing scenario in the country. However, before that, the experts and the government will have to agree on the reliability of the rapid testing process.
So how far has India reached in its progress in biomedical research, indeed in technologies, when it comes to combating viruses? I'm joined by Pallava Bagla, the country's leading science journalist, joins me. Appreciate your joining us, Pallav. What's your sense? Has coronavirus led to a sudden spurt in research, or has it always existed and now may finally find an outlet?
Well, India has always had faith in its science and technology system. India has invested very heavily over a period of time in its science, technology and innovation system. But I don't think on several aspects and fronts the Indian science and technology system has risen up and delivered to the extent as it was required. Let me explain a little bit more. When you are in a war-like situation, what matters is what was done during peacetime. In peacetime, India invested heavily in its science and technology system, and today the Indian science and technology community should be rising up and delivering at double pace. And I don't see that happening except for one or two examples like which happened on the face covers which came from the Principal Scientific Advisor's office. A simple solution to a complex problem. But other than that, I don't think the Indian science and technology community has risen up to the extent it was required, and even the health minister, who happens to be India's science minister, was kind of losing patience about this.
Tell me, Pallava, let's take a look let's take a look at specific issues. For example, rapid testing kits. we imported the kits from China. Some of them reportedly are now found defective. ICMR is investigating the same. Do we not have the bandwidth in this country to have rapid testing kits produced on a mass scale?
Well, that was a question I have been asking India's Department of Biotechnology. I have been asking the Indian industry. Both of them are supposed to be top class in the world. But the Indian rapid testing kits, especially for antibody tests, are still lagging behind. But only ray of hope, which in my opinion came from the Sri Chitra Tirunal Institute in Trivandrum, which gave a new rapid diagnostic test, which they say is a confirmatory test, and that is a gene-based test. And that institution has a track record of delivering health technological innovations. So that was one interesting innovation which came from the Indian S&T system. But I think many more need to come. We have great scientists, let's say at the International Center for Genetic Engineering and Biotechnology, ICGEB, who have developed kits for dengue, have developed kits for other diseases. Those could well have been ramped up, tweaked and ramped up for testing corona, but I can't understand where the lag is.
The other issue, of course, is vaccine research. You know, the big story at the moment across the world is how academic institutions and mega corporations are working together in this race to find a vaccine. I'm told a few Indian companies, including Cipla, are also in a similar race. Where does India stand, in your view, on vaccine research?
Well, India is considered the vaccine capital of the world, Rajdeep. Almost a third of the vaccines which are given and supplied to UNICEF and in the world emerge from India. Again, it is disappointing that 4 months into the coronavirus pandemic, not a single Indian candidate has moved into an animal trial or even a human trial. If China and America and companies there can move into a animal and human trial, well, India invested very heavily in its National Institute of Immunology, in its Translational Health Research Institute, in the National Center for Biological Sciences, where millions and millions of dollars have been spent. I just can't understand why they are not able to come up with a suitable candidate fast enough. I'm told there are 7 candidates as of now, and Dr. Renu Sarup, the Secretary of the Department of Biotechnology, told me that there are 7 candidates which are being considered, and India is also likely to participate in the Solidarity trial. But if China and America could have moved into a human trial in months, or I should say weeks, why are we dragging our feet?
So therefore, a very quick answer to this: why? Why do you think? Where is the gap between, let's say, given the fact that, as you say, we have cutting-edge scientists, why is it that we are not therefore able to convert that pool of human resources into results?
Well, I think the Prime Minister has now given a clarion call asking for young Indian scientists to deliver on a vaccine, and that is now being taken forward on a war footing. Again, let me highlight a particular issue here, Rajdeep. See, India has the capability of sending a satellite to Moon and Mars. But when it came to transporting and taking our migrant labor safely to their homes, as a country, we failed. And that doesn't tell enough and does not hold good for a country of a 1.3 billion which cannot protect its own migrant labor, while we can send satellites to Moon and Mars.
Okay, I think you made a very strong statement there, and I hope that those in government whom you often talk to are waking up to the reality of Corona times. Pallava Bagla, appreciate your joining us, the country's foremost science journalist, giving us a sense of where we stand in this race for a vaccine and indeed rapid testing kits. Let's take a break. On the other side of the break, we'll have many more stories on innovations that are nearly in the production state to fight the pandemic and boost our healthcare system further. Stay with us. You're watching. COVID-19 has changed the world around us. While earlier innovations in technology were focused on improving the status of life, now it's shifting from that to simply help combat the virus. Let's now take a look at innovations that are coming in from a variety of places in the country, from Bengaluru to Mohali.
Extreme lockdowns, social distancing and masks on. The novel coronavirus has forced the entire world to follow and get used to this new normal. But what it has also forced is innovations across the globe. While full body massages are at a halt, it's time now for full body sanitization. A Bengaluru-based firm has developed a prototype machine that generates nanobubbles, it says, to oxidize or kill the contaminants on one's body. The machine, they claim, releases a cool fog-like air, and the developers say that in 20 seconds, the body will be decontaminated.
COVID virus requires some host bacteria to move around or transfer itself. In case some of the kind of bacteria like Staphylococci or Streptococcus kind of a thing, the bacteria, if we are able to demolish them, probably we can bring down the transfer of COVID, the virus, which probably could be hosted in such kind of bacteria. That is what we feel, that could be an advantage in avoiding cross-contamination.
One of the advisories to prevent COVID-19 from spreading is washing hands. But doing that can also lead to wastage of water. To solve this issue, a Mohali-based company has developed a foot tap that can be installed in public places to save water and make it more hygienic to use.
So in the public places, it is very important so that there is no transmission of this COVID through hands. In railways, they have tried, they are going to use it. Now we have got many telephonic inquiries from the different institutions and the public administrations. So last day only, Sangrur DC, they have purchased 4 pieces to trial it. It is a tried and tested product. There's no problem in this. So very scientific and very well hygienic and water-saving device. The approximate cost is about rupees 2,000.
This foot-operated tap will not only save the water, but also the transmission of COVID-19. With video journalist Dilip Sahu, this is Manjeet Sehgal in Mohali for India Today.
You're watching Info Corona. India's technological institutes are racing against time in a battle against the deadly coronavirus. The country's healthcare system is grappling with a shortage of ventilators, a crucial equipment in a battle to save lives. Most of the technological institutes and entrepreneurs have now started to design prototypes for cheap medical ventilators. Here's a report how India is trying to meet the shortage of ventilators with innovation and determination.
When the virus scare hit, one of the first questions that were raised was, does India have enough ventilators? Stories from other countries started coming in how crucial ventilators were for serious patients infected with the coronavirus. And so began the hunt for not only procuring ventilators, but also to try and ramp up production. One of the criteria for the fast turnaround was also the cost of production. And many private players and innovators jumped in, taking up the challenge.
What you can see is, first of all, it is very, very small, and you do not require any kind of hospital infrastructure. So just in case if you want to take it to a hotel and you want to convert that hotel room into an ICU facility, you can do that, because you do not need a compressor, you do not need an oxygen line, you do not need a pressurized air line, you do not need any of these things. You simply connect it to a power socket and it just goes. It has 4 hours of battery backup. It is very easy to use. What you can see over here is an Android tablet, so it's very, very easy to control and use, and anyone everyone can learn how to use it. So it is just like a normal ventilator in terms of functioning, but unlike any other ventilator in the market.
These innovators are claiming that they already have orders from not just the central government, but some state governments as well. This unit claims they are well prepared to handle the supply, not just the current demand, but future increase as well.
We ourselves are having a capacity of approximately 20,000 ventilators a month. This month itself, we are looking at making around 10,000 ventilators. We have Maruti on our helping us out in the overall manufacturing process, and along with that, we are also having BEL, which is Bharat Electronics Limited, to actually help us out in parallel manufacturing in their own plant in Panchkula. So combined capacity from next month should be around 40,000 ventilators.
Across the country, there are firms hard at work to come up with safe, cheap and quick solutions to meet the rising demand of ventilators in India. A team of engineers in Coimbatore claim they have also made a cost-effective ventilator prototype. It will be launched in hospitals soon after testing.
This product was within 2 days, it was given a confidence, and within about 4 days we developed a prototype. And we have a functioning prototype at this point of time, and we are going to test it in hospitals in next couple of days, and it can support the emergency ventilation part of it. It will cost about 25,000 rupees to sell once we manufacture and sell.
Till these are available in bulk, there are others who are also trying to create ventilator splitters, so that one ventilator can be used to serve multiple patients at the same time.
There are other challenges in this. We'll have to couple patients who have similar lung capacity, similar oxygen intake, so that these splitters work effectively and there's no more extra lung damage happening.
Around the country, there is move by scientists and tech entrepreneurs to fill the gap that there is in India's healthcare system. The hope is that with the lockdown buying some time, these private initiatives would pass the government checks to help boost the system in the days to come.
Okay, that's all we have time for in this edition of Info Corona. It's time for a break. On the other side, my colleague Rahul Kawal brings you News Track. Keep watching India Today.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.